Namaste. Welcome. Hello, everybody, to this very last Soul to Soul Conversations podcast of 2024. We're really excited to be here with you. In all honesty, we were not planning to do another podcast at the end of this year because we've pre-recorded a very exciting podcast on the ancient civilization of Lemuria, which Paul will be finishing editing, and that will be on any time, either just before or just after this podcast goes out. But thank you for being here with us. We're so looking forward to this now, and Paul is going to tell you what this podcast is going to be all about.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about light language and what that's bringing into this physical existence, the connection of it to our higher consciousness, and allowing that resonance and energy to come in. So for those of you who aren't aware of what light language is, it's the communication and resonance of our soul that brings forth that deeper understanding that allows us to go beyond the intellect and reasoning, as we often get into that energy in this physical world. And it starts to expand us up to that infinite loving energy that is our true consciousness.
Yeah, and I think it's also very much a representation of how we are all really moved now much more into living from our heart center, from that heart-centered way of living as we evolve. And it is also, and it expands our awareness, it expands our consciousness into living more in alignment and connected to our multi-dimensional selves, our multi-dimensional awareness, more and more, with this feeling of connecting more with more clarity to the realms of our higher selves.
Yeah, and it brings in such a stronger energy, but also a really grounding energy with it. So, and sometimes that sounds a bit of a contradiction, but it's through that additional grounding that it strengthens us and allows us to open up more. Yeah. And as we said, it's about connecting in ever increasingly stronger ways to the truth of ourselves and allowing ourselves to step into that power.
Yeah, I mean, light language, we found, and it is deeply layered with sacred information, with frequencies and codes that offer healing, that go beyond a lot of the time of this physical resistance of the human body, the physical resistance of also this, when we've had deep trauma or deep things that have hurt us, we don't realize that they're held and stored on us in ourselves. And light language seems to transcend that and works on a really deep cellular level to transmute those things that may be holding us back without us even realizing it. So we're finding that it connects us and moves away those long held, often unconscious and deep cellular level of hurt and trauma, and it seems to just move it through and out with a greater ease. We've found that quite a lot in our healing practice, as it's now just every time I give a healing session, and most times, as you know, I'm an intuitive and medium and channeler, and every time I'm doing any type of that work, that light language now really wants to express itself, because it does change the vibration of our energetic structure and helps us just live more fully from our true nature.
Yeah, it's almost like as it comes in, it creates a clearing of the pathway that allows us to go through these releases, these cleanses. But it strengthens us with that, so that we feel supported in what we're doing and what we're going through. And the other thing as well is that the fact that it's becoming so much more an everyday thing now, very much more. We've noticed a lot more people connecting to it, speaking the light language. And that is because all of the extra energies that have been coming into this planet, all the work that we've all been going through and doing to elevate ourselves, it's actually we're ready for it now. we're starting to resonate to a frequency that allows that to come in a much stronger way.
Yeah. I mean, and it does, as we said about it connects us to our multidimensionality. It also helps us feel and experience deeper levels of communication, not only with ourselves, but with our galactic family, with our spiritual family, with our cosmic family, and with the communicating with the essence of who we are, with our divinity. And it helps each individual do that. And as it's helping and assisting each individual to do that, of course, it then radiates out, and the collective consciousness benefits from that as well, and helps us transform into that true resonance of our divinity.
Yeah, and it's creating a greater unity, with ourselves, the unity of our physical body, embodying that infinite divinity that we are. But also as a collective, as a community, it's starting to create stronger bonds and a stronger connection on a much elevated level to bring about that deeper wisdom and deeper understanding and a knowingness that goes beyond what we're trying to think about. And that's one of the things that we've always said is, because one of the first times, or some of the early stages, you might think, what does that mean? What's it saying? And really, it's allowing ourselves to stop trying to rationalize it, and to start just allowing ourselves to absorb the energy of it. And in a little while, we're actually going to be providing and sharing a light language transmission with you, so you can experience it as well.
But also we're finding, I think before, and I'll be completely honest, including myself and possibly Paul, I did just think, that's a bit weird, I don't really resonate with that. But now we're being asked if we give events, or we do services for here in our place in Sarasota, or standing in for others at ministries, we're actually being asked to share light language, because people know how profoundly powerful and life-changing it is, because it's coming from the higher realms. It's coming with those frequencies, with those codes, and with that healing energy that really does shift and cleanse the energies and align us directly with the essence of who we are. So I'm going to ask Paul, would you share a little bit? I know I've said that we've been asked a lot, to share, but tell them about, because this is just unbelievable. Even to like a few months ago, neither of us would have believed that this took place in Paul's offices, where he works in construction.
And so I was having a conversation with two of the ladies where I work in an office environment, and they were talking about different languages, what languages people speak, and I just broke into a little bit of light language, and they both looked at me and they said, I don't know what language that is. And I said, it's light language. It's the language of your soul. It's communicating you and bringing forth that expanded love and consciousness of your true self. And then with that, I left that with them, and I walked out of their office. And
can you imagine what they were thinking?
I know, but it's funny. A little while back, I would never have thought that I would be doing that in such an everyday manner. So it just goes to show you how. And I feel definitely the more we've been working with it, the more we've been allowing it to come forth from us, it's actually been coming and really settling with us. So it's almost like this acceptance of it being just part of who we are.
Yeah, definitely. And, I was going to say that another little story of how we came to actually start expressing the light language was, we hold a meditation group, and there's a lovely woman that comes that I would refer to as an advanced light language practitioner. And I asked her this time, would she like to offer the closing prayer? And she said, well, could I do it in light language? And we said, yes, sure. So she did, and it It was just so beautiful. And also, it isn't just spoken, the language spoken, it also incorporates hand gestures. So you'll often see us using hand gestures when the light language comes through, because that energy is moving through with these codes. It can also be written, and it looks very similar to Sanskrit. But so after she did that, it was just literally days later, Paul and I just felt this urge in our morning meditations, and it was Christmas time because we were both on work, to start speaking it, and we were like, oh, and then Jarama came through and confirmed that yes, we'd been activated, yes, it was light language, and it's going to move us into a greater expansion of our true self. So, but we were very shy and quiet about it at first, because it did feel a little bit different. That's all I can say. Yes.
And it's kind of like now, I mean, we also go to group meetings as well, where we're talking to each other with light language, and and it really elevates. It really has brought about a quickening within ourselves. That's how I feel, to connecting me to that greater truth.
Yes.
And it's just such a beautiful energy. And I just feel really blessed for that it is part of my life and part of our lives.
Yeah, and I never know, similar to channeling but different, I never know what is going to express when I start the light language. And in fact, I forgot to tell you this. Oh no, I might have told you. I was giving a client of mine some healing, and the light language came through, and she had never spoken light language before, and she started communicating back with the light language in her light language, and she was just fascinated by it. She said, I've never done that before, I didn't know it was in me. I said, well, it's connecting you to your higher self, and you're expressing that. So it'd be nice to see how she kind of develops with that as well. But another little story before we move on to sharing a transmission with you was earlier this year we were on holiday with our family, and our granddaughter was asking us while we were in the pool together, just Paul and myself and our granddaughter, who was 9 she was 8 at the time. And she said, Nan, do you speak any more languages? And I said, well, and I jokingly said, no, English and American. And I said, oh, and we speak light language. She said, what's that? I said, Grandad, do some light language. Not expecting him to do a full transmission that he did. Anyway, it was beautiful. And then she looked at us and said, I didn't understand one word of what Grandad just said. And we started laughing. We said, no, it isn't about the words. I said, it's the healing and the frequencies and the energies that come through with it, are transmitted it. And she looked at us both, didn't she? She went, yeah. She totally understood it. She totally got it. And she actually, when she visited us later in the year in Sarasota, she came to a light language gathering and she really enjoyed it. And I have to say, her emotions were so good the next day, weren't they? Because she'd obviously been missing her parents, but she was like a happy little buddy the next day. It was so nice.
Yeah, it was lovely.
So I think we're going to sit back. I think I'm going to, who wants to go first?
Shall I go first? And then do you want to then?
Yes. So just settle yourselves. Remember, don't try and work out what the words are meaning, because it's the energy, the codes and the frequency that are transmitted with this transmission, and it will very much resonate with your soul. So if you want to, you can softly close your eyes or you can watch, doesn't matter, whatever you feel.
Ya kuor kientere si araki si o kontu orachinaraki asara kande a shi or kanai si a kitu or kuno oishitere sana tetra shukushun orstut a sandarkitu kintarachi cantar kokoshi a orko arakianarte koroshikite a poporshito nanayi ansana kieta sinakana tera kyoto orokoshana hie tera shoko ashi para kante so orakshine shete nayana shete kanyana kiechetana arase o koroshita.
I tishana ma ayana kua, e shimanana tia kako, I shana ma e tuana maka, I shanatu, e ana kia, Shiana kua tamanasi, e tayana katai, ushana maka, iana kuta, I katia, o kata, e shayana ma ianaisai, o anaya kai, I shana ma o anashayana kakakatatatayana, o katatatatayana akashayana iana mako, ishana kai, shana kaya to, shina manai. Shiana mai ekasha Shunamakaya 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 Shayai Shayai Shayai.
That was beautiful, and I hope you could really connect to the resonance and the energy that was being transmitted there.
Yeah, you may find at times you do it quietly in the house or in the car, and if you do, just allow it to flow. And Paul and I, just before we came on the podcast, I was just inspired to say, if you do want to develop more of your light language and you want some support, we will consider running some classes to help you develop in a safe and encouraging and inspiring environment. So if you are interested, our email will be in the details below, and you can contact us there. So I'm going to ask that Jarama comes through and shares some words of wisdom on this evolution, this great evolution that's taking place with humanity and the planet, and share some of his words and guidance for us. So I'm going to sit back, I can hear him coming through, and say welcome to Jarama and thank you for being with us.
Hello, my friends.
Hello.
It is not by coincidence that so many new aspects to your spiritual journey are coming into fruition at this time. For it is all part of that process of allowing that higher consciousness, that higher wisdom, that higher energy to exist and resonate upon this physical plane. And you will find that the more that you allow that to be a natural part of your life, so that you are not forcing anything, for there is no need for you to force anything. It is much better, much stronger for you when you are at ease and you allow it just to unfold and unravel itself. For remember, that is your natural state of being. That expanded consciousness, that expanded, elevated existence is your true state of existence. And now is all about allowing that to become a much integrated, more strongly integrated part of your physical existence. And it isn't about when you do or just about when you do your meditations or you do your special ceremonies, but it is about doing it in every moment. It's about living it in every moment. For as you live it in every moment, you are allowing yourself to go beyond everything that you currently know, and it will assist you in this journey upon this earth plane. For there are many trials and tribulations as part of this existence, and that strengthened energy will play a part in allowing you to more easily navigate your pathway through the many obstacles that are potentially there. And it is an aspect that you can call upon to assist you in any and every moment. And the more that you open yourself up to asking and calling upon it and bringing it forth, the more it will naturally take place. Just as you would say hello when you greet somebody, so you will also resonate those higher frequencies in that same moment in time. And if you allow yourself to really connect to this, the energy and the resonance of the light language, you will find that it opens you up to the many more portals and dimensional existences that are a part of everyday existence. And we say a part of everyday existence because those portals, those energies, those connections to your multidimensional self are always there. It is a matter of opening yourselves up to them. And now is that time. It is about stepping into your true power, your true state of being through those extra, we will say the word tools for want of a better phrase. But once you are allowing yourself to integrate and to become the energy of the light language and many other aspects of what you are currently expanding into, you will find that you are creating a pathway that has a greater clarity. You will find that your visioning goes beyond what you see and you start to connect into the realms of possibilities. And in those realms of possibilities, because you are emanating a greater energy of love, you will find they are the possibilities of a greater positivity. So allow yourself this gift at this time. If you want to provide a gift for yourself, as is often at this time of the year, many gifts are exchanged. I mean, this is a wonderful gift for you to connect to that inner knowing, that inner understanding through that light language, through that resonance, through your true self, your true expanded self. It is a great gift, one to be treasured for your whole existence, far beyond this physical one. But allow yourself to be at ease with it. Allow yourself moments of stillness where you can connect in a stronger way. But you will realize that the more that you connect to it, the more you will find that it is a part of you as you go about your everyday life, whether it be work, shopping, enjoyment, spending time with friends and people. And you will naturally find that you will almost at times even be singing or humming along to songs or music that you hear with that essence and energy of light language. As we say, it is a great gift. And it is a great gift at this time that will take you forward far, far beyond what you could expect in this moment in time, far beyond what your spiritual understanding is bringing to you at this time. For you will be resonating your absolute truth in its full divine glory. And with that, my friends, we will say goodbye for now. But remember, it is always your choice. Allow yourself to connect and make choices with a greater wisdom. And with that, we say thank you and goodbye for now.
Thank you so much. Love to all. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. So again, as always, the energy that comes through when this higher consciousness, this collective of higher beings that's purpose is to come and assist us in this lifetime, because they know that these denser energies and these energies that go on in this world are not always the easiest. And I know that right now there is so much conflict going on out there in the world, but please hold true to the peace and the love and the truth in your heart, because this, holding that space, is what brings that energy more and more into this world, because we are moving into really magnificent transformational times, this age of Aquarius, some call it, but it really is so much now moving on a much higher and more rapid rate. So as we've said before, hold on to your hats, keep using your divine light to bring it into this world and create in this world a reality that you truly want from your heart and your soul. So I hope you've enjoyed this little podcast, the Soul to Soul Conversations podcast on the light language. There's so much more to share, but we really hope it's kind of made you more curious in wanting to connect more to those other dimensions of yourself, because it isn't only healing, it brings blessings, it brings clearings, it brings upliftment, it brings joy, and it really is a gift to us all, as Jerome said. So again, thank you, Paul. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I just want to say, keep trusting and keep that deep knowing that all will be well, because it already is.
Yeah.
So allow yourself to keep shining, allow yourself to resonate your truth, the truth of your being, and you'll be amazed at what can transform from that.
Yeah. So in closing, we know we are coming up to the holiday season. Some of you celebrate Christmas, some Kwanzaa, some Hanukkah, some just like enjoying a bit of peace and quiet and time off work. So whatever you are celebrating, feel our love. If you're lucky enough or unlucky enough to be around family, it depends, doesn't it, on the dynamics. Take our blessings, enjoy your time with friends. We always have quite a fun. The child in me loves to come out and play, as Paul knows, at Christmas. So we'll be having it. Still get some getting used to, that we can go onto the beach Christmas Day, because it's the temperatures here in the 80s at the moment. But feel our love, feel the warmth from our heart. Thank you so much for joining us and for all your support throughout this year. It means the world to us, doesn't it, Paul?
Yeah, it does. It helps us and assists us in helping us to stay strong on our journey, because we're taking that along with you.
Yeah.
So it's very much this connected community that we're trying to create here.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of guests lined up for next year, so we'll be sharing more of that with you next year. If you have any subjects or topics or any questions you would like addressing, please put them in the comments or send us an email. And always the email addresses will be in the details. And if there's anything you'd like to put to Jurama, please feel free to do that as well.
Yeah.
So have a wonderful holiday season, whether it's Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, or just enjoying some peace and quiet and being out in nature and tuning into yourselves. Just keep shining the light that you are. Remember, you are multidimensional. your star family, your galactic family is drawing ever, ever closer. So just allow those energies in and express who you are.
And all it leaves us to say is, from my heart to
yours, we love you so much. Have a wonderful new year, and we'll see you in 2025. Namaste. Love you.
Take care, everybody.